Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of My Spiritual Money RX. This is your host, Vivian S. D. Guzman, the #1 money magnet activator. And today, our show is all about learning how to boost your manifestation. So, first of all, I would love to share with you this concept of manifestation because it seems like there's so many things going on in the planet right now, right? And it doesn't mean that our dreams and goals are on hold just because there's chaos all around us. It is a possibility that you are feeling all these shifts, right? It almost feels like quicksand. Like the other day I was meditating, I was doing my nature walk, and I was just sensing the energy all around the world. And it feels like that. It feels like quicksand, right? Like you step onto something, you're creating this project, yet at the same time, it's like tomorrow, it's another day, it's a totally different energy. And if you're feeling that way, you are not alone. Okay, it's happening all around us. If you look at your own family, there's a lot of changes every day. Your work, if you work for someone or even if you have a business, there's so many moving parts, right? There's also the society, like what's happening in your city, what's happening in your country, and even the government, right? Outside of this plane, there's so many things going on. So my hope today is for you to really like dive in within yourself, find your sense of alignment, and allow yourself to be in that place of centeredness. So I'm going to share with you a little bit of my routine, and perhaps you can get one or two or three that feels very good to you, and we can start working on your process of manifestation. All right, so we're going to get started with that. How do you start your day? That's the first question. Because if you are the magnet of your own universe and your day starts crazy, chaotic, confusing, and overwhelming, guess what your day would look like throughout the day? Same thing, right? Because you're the magnet. Now, especially for those of you who understand human design, there's different kinds, right? There's one TV show, one segment of that I did on the types of human design. So I happen to be a generator. So if you are a generator or a manifesting generator, you most likely tend to pull in that kind of energy. So it needs to be for you, it's super, super critical that you feel good. You feel balanced, you feel calm, because then that's the kind of energy that you will be attracting into your life. Okay. So the first thing I would suggest you do, if it feels good to you, because there's different ways, right? So some days you just want to feel like like a ball, like to curl up as a ball and do nothing. So with that, I would put my hands together in front of my heart and I would actually squat down. Okay. I'm going to squat down and I would just take a deep breath. So I squat down, I put my hands like my thumbs towards my heart. I put the tip of my tongue at the roof of my mouth, and let's all do this together. I want you to take a deep cleansing breath, right? So breathe in like there's water from the core of the earth, and you're going to move that up all the way to the back of the spine, to the top of your head. And then just allow the water to wash your face. And when it gets to your heart, it becomes this bright red energy, like my shirt, all the way down to the pubic bones. All right, so let's do that together. Let's breathe in blue and breathe out red. Breathe in blue, breathe out red. Breathe in blue and breathe out red. Do it one more time just for good measure. Breathe in blue and breathe out red. Now, obviously, if you can have time for yourself wherein you can just squat down, be quiet, and continue doing that type of breathing, you're going to notice this feeling of an alignment. It's almost like a straight line from the heavens all the way through your spinal cord and all the way to the center of the earth. Why is it important to do that? Well, your manifestation chakra is actually on the ninth, which is about 2 feet above your head. So when I ask you to breathe, were you able to breathe in like that blue energy that you were visualizing? Can you bring it all the way 2 feet above you or not? So some people have this challenge of, well, I prayed to God that this would happen. It could be money, a new relationship, right? It could be health, like you want to be healed from your sickness of some sort or diagnosis. But then the thing is, you don't take the time to listen, like within you, deep inside of you, to even feel the breath. We know breath is life, right? So when we're breathing, but then it's not quite, you're not able to receive, right? The oxygen that you wanted to have, right? That's why we breathe, because we bring in oxygen and we release carbon dioxide. So your ability to manifest depends entirely on if you can receive that or not. So we know that the universe moves very fast now. So when you ask God for something, but then you're not really present to receive the gift, you won't get it, right? Somebody else that might be actually waiting for that would get it because you forgot to be quiet and be silent and receive it accordingly. Okay? So now we know that the idea is this. When you wanted to create something, right, there's an idea first. It's like maybe your life doesn't work well. You're not happy with your marriage, your relationship. You're not happy with your physical condition. Or perhaps you're not happy with certain relationships. It could be in business or it could be in life. So you create another world that's separate, right? It starts with your imagination, we visualize. But until we give it a feeling, like how would that really feel if you get those things you're asking for? So it'll go from idea stage to a creation stage from within us. And then the manifestation happens when you're truly present in the moment. Because if you're not present to witness what's going on, it won't work. Because I've seen this a lot with some of the clients that come my way and then they're like, well, I thought you're a money magnet activator. How come it doesn't happen that quickly? Like for you it does, but for us it doesn't. Sometimes it's because they haven't let go of the other baggage or some of the distraction. We call it distraction. So it's a little bit lighter, right? So certain things distract you from manifesting what you truly would like to have in life because you give it time, right? If you say you want something, but then you give attention to other details, like pay attention to your life today. Are the items to do on your schedule, do they truly reflect what you'd like to have in life? So I know as a generator, I really need to be lit up, and I will, when I do something or enter certain activities or groups, it has to light me up. And if it doesn't, maybe it does 80% of the time, then I'm going to have to leave that pretty environment that they've created for us, because if it doesn't resonate with my energy at that time, I'm going to have to politely excuse myself, because now the space that I've created will now give way for me to receive exactly what I'm asking for. You see? So if you're asking for one big thing in your life, so go ahead and write down all the things that you said you want to have in life, maybe in the next 3 months. I'll give you time to do that, because when you really allow the idea of manifestation to come and you're not rushing the universe, right? It's like it would be nice to have, let's say, a new car, and everybody visualize exactly what you're looking for, what you'd like to have. Now, I want you to feel, okay, what's going to happen when I actually receive this thing or this person, this relationship, this situation that I love to have? Like, you really got to feel like, it's like a giddy feeling of it feels so satisfying to have this thing or person, relationship or situation. So now I want you to visualize, what are you going to do when you get it? So please write down on your notebook or your journal, what am I going to do when I get this thing or person? Am I going to go hang out with the person? Am I going to celebrate? How am I going to celebrate? How am I going to reward myself? How am I going to thank the universe? Because that's the way you can make this happen immediately. Now, this is the usual thing I notice. When people get something, let's say you ask for God, like, God, I would like to have a new assistant. And then suddenly the assistant comes the next day, and then you're like, oh, but wait, God, I wasn't quite ready. I haven't prepared the job description for this person, or I really don't know what to assign or delegate, right? So it's very interesting that we ask God for help, and then the universe and God helps us like get it right away, and then we are not ready to fully receive it. What's going to happen? It's going to go away. Usually something not so pleasant happens for us to learn, right? That's part of the journey. So it's not a bad thing, it's just the journey. It's the journey. So there are so many things that trigger us not to manifest. So one of them is lack of focus. Like I said, choose one thing that you'd like to manifest, let's say in the next 30, 60, or 90 days. Please write that down. Number two, I want you to write down, what are the emotions that actually may get in the way of you receiving what you're asking for? Write it down. Now, if you say, oh, my mother may not like that if that happens, now you're now assigning it to someone aside from you. So how would you feel if somebody else that you love don't quite like what you're receiving? Okay. So please pay attention to your feelings. Okay. Number three is the lack of self-confidence. So this is also the lack of your own trust, right, to the universe. Maybe you really need to exercise the muscle of receiving. So your manifestation largely depends on your ability to receive. So again, let's close our eyes and visualize when you ask for more money, more wealth, more like a different job, or a business that you would, a business is like a baby, right? That you're going to start to take care of and start staffing the people that you want to work with. As far as that is concerned, your container, I want you to visualize when you ask the universe for this thing, how big is the container that you have for it? So just pay attention. And I want you to put your fingertip above your upper lip and your other hand on your belly button. And just close your eyes for a few minutes and see if you can allow the universe to deliver to you in the next few days, could be hours, days, months, this thing, person, situation, or relationship that you'd like to have. And feel it in your body, right? What's happening when you actually can manifest what you just said? So breathe. You'll feel this. I use this a lot, by the way, this physical technique. When I feel like scattered and I need the energy to come to me, like, because thinking about it is one thing, feeling it is another thing, but when you embody something, the manifestation happens super quick. Like I said, if you can't even move the oxygen and carbon dioxide through your spine, way up to the top of your head, it's going to be difficult to manifest. So that could be one exercise that you're doing, right? The second exercise could be this container. How big is your container though? So some of you would ask for $1 million, but your container is so skinny. So now see if you can ask the universe to expand the container you're asking for. Now, as you allow the container to expand, some people, and this happens a lot in business settings, right? They ask for more money, but then they're not willing to also share that blessing and goodness to others. That's when hiring a team comes in, right? So if the container is just for you because you want to receive the money deposited in your bank account or spend whatever it is you like, that's one way. Now, the thing is, as you expand the business, the container needs something bigger. And now you not only receive the goodness, but you get to share it with others. That's the manifestation of this business, this baby that grew up and now is willing and allowing others to actually contribute to the goodness of this thing. Okay. Now, last but not least is the lack of clarity. So for some of you, you don't know, well, who do I want to hang out with? Who are my ideal clients? Who do I want to serve? If you don't know what that is, because maybe you're so used to being an employee and you're used to having the company staff your team, right? That's one way. The other way is you become the boss and you actually choose who you want to spend your time with. Who do you want to discuss your projects with? What kind of theme do you have? Because for us, it's expansion, right? With integrity. Um, Communication, very important to our team. If you can't speak your mind, right? You can't speak of how you feel with the people you work with, it's not quite comfortable, right? For me, it's the expression of the growth. That's part of it. Communication is like the key for moving things. It's like the grease. It's like the gasoline in the car, right? Like you really need to be able to move things through as you grow. All right. So let's see. My question to you right now, when it comes to this manifestation, please write this down. What's occupying your life? Actually, the better question is what's occupying your day? So if you write it down, Like, is your life full of emergencies? From where? From family? Now, remember that every time you grow and change, the people that is closest to you will have a feeling of um, discomfort always. So it's going to be your spouse, your children, your family, your extended family, your mom, dad, brothers, and sisters. So, what's occupying your life or your day? Please write it down and just be honest with yourself, because it is what it is, right? If you don't confront it now, I mean, look at what COVID did to the society. It almost forced us to confront what we don't want to look at in the past. And now it's here, and you got to do what you got to do, right? Number two, what's stopping you from making the decision to move forward with what feels good to you? So a lot of this can be conditioning, right? Like you were told, well, you can't like make progress. You can't really be rich or wealthy without taking, all these things with you. The question is, are they helping you? Are they giving you a hand to actually realize those dreams? Or are they preventing you from really truly seeing the aligned version of yourself? And please be honest again. I mean, honesty to yourself is the best thing you can gift yourself. Because if you can't confront these questions, most likely it's going to be difficult for you to confront the person, that relative, that family member who's stopping you from really moving forward. Okay? And three, what kind of help do you need to move you forward? So we're here for a reason, right? We're here to fulfill our soul purpose. Now, all of you know I studied human design. I'm studying human design and Gene Keys. And the more I dig deep into the subject, the more I realize, like, remember, I'm right angle cross of penetration. That's my purpose. I go straight into the heart of the matter. And some people can't handle the truth, right? And that's okay. There are other coaches and healers that can help you with your path. Now, for me, it's like I'm a straight shooter. Where do you want to go? Okay, and this is what needs to be done to make that happen. So that's how I work. And if you like it that way, because it's a very short path technically, if you are willing to build your character within you, right? And the integrity to yourself is what we're after. It's not about to show you like, hey, I'm good at this, and you got to work on this thing. We all have to work on something. No one's perfect, right? We're here for a lesson. So the more we learn who we are, the more you learn who you are, the more you will be able to decide, wow, this is my way. This is the way to go. And it doesn't have to be like everybody else, because we're all different. That's the beauty of it. We all have gifts and talents to share with one another. And the ones that kind of click, it's like a big puzzle, and we're all moving together, finding that avenue, right, where we can actually hang out, be ourselves, not be judged or reprimanded for who we are and who we're meant to be, then you're at the right place at the right time. So um, I know that our team, we're going to have a healing event, right, on September 17 and 18. In the past, we've called it Up Level 2021. But this time we're actually looking at things differently because, like I said, it's like we are standing on some quicksand and nothing feels the same. But in order for you to feel stable, we got to work on your emotions, right? Any negative triggers that you may have. And you have to know your human design. What is your purpose, your incarnation cross? And you also have to know some healing tools for yourself so that you can empower yourself. So we're going to have that on September 17 and 18, and we're working on the copy as we speak. And for those of you that are employees and you really just want to know, like, well, is there a path for me to get to entrepreneurship without all these headaches? Like almost the experimentation of the failures that go with that, right? And if you need some form of a blueprint or a path, there's such a thing called Transition to Entrepreneurship. We're going to do this on October 8 and 9. And we're going to actually have not just me, but my business team as well to help you carve that path to entrepreneurship, so then at least you have an outline of, oh yeah, there is a way to go. Because sometimes you just can't see the possibilities. But when somebody points it out to you, it's like a headlight, right? Or even a lighthouse. If you know your own lighthouse, this is not our lighthouse, it's your own lighthouse. If you know where you're going, now you can have the faith within yourself, with God, with your talents, all together moving you forward. So I invite you to visit Transition to Entrepreneurship, and we would love to see you then. Or if you need more healing, we'll see you on September 17 and 18, and we're going to have some fun, really clearing all these cobwebs and baggages that actually prevent you from really learning who you are. All right. Well, let's see. I think I have some questions and comments. Somebody said here, receiving is key. Yes. When it comes to money, money is not a bad thing. You can think of money as a resource. And obviously, if you have it, you can have your home, you can donate to others, you can help somebody out, right? The other person said she or he is highly distracted. Okay. Distraction right now is very common. Therefore, it would be good for you to find a way to calm down, meditate, quiet your mind. It could be go to the park, sit down by a bench, look at the sky, breathe. Or it could be just sit and count the number of leaves in the trees. That'll bring you a lot of abundance. Or you could go to the beach, sit down and do nothing and just sip your favorite drink, just sit there or talk to a friend, whatever it is that feels so good to you. I would say in order for you to manifest, that's the key right now. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this segment, and I will talk to you again next Wednesday on another segment of My Spirit.